Good morning, students. So, we have come to our online classes after summer holidays. I hope you all enjoyed your holidays, isn't it? And at the same time, you have completed your assignment also, isn't it? All the subjects you have got the assignment. So, I hope you have completed because within these days you have to submit your assignments. So, I am thinking of starting civics. If any answers, because I was giving answers of chapter 1 of geography, and then suddenly summer holidays was declared, and so a few questions are still left, I think, and those questions afterwards I'll give. You can tell me afterwards whatever questions left, answers are not given, those questions I'll give afterwards. So today I'm going to start civics, like political science, chapter 1, political parties in India. And whatever I am teaching, history I have completed, I think. Then geography and political science, these are your syllabus. Okay, I'll tell you which are the chapters needed for your first term. This whatever I am teaching, everything is needed for your first term. Okay. Now, political parties in India. Concept of political parties and its necessity. As we all know, political parties play an important role in all the countries. Now, political parties play an important role, especially in democracy. When a democracy came into existence, then political party got its importance. Now, without political party, it is difficult to know and to fulfill the needs of the people, because through the political parties, people put forward their difficulties, their needs, their demands to the government. So, political party is a link between the government and the general public. General public, they cannot reach to the parliament, they cannot reach to the legislative assembly to place their demands, to place their needs, whatever they need in their around their suppose society or their areas, whatever the things, whatever their needs. So that is put forwarded to the political parties. So political party establishes a link in between the government and the general public. We elect our representatives for the center, MPs, representative for the state, MLAs, and this representative, and in the autonomous, as you all know, in the autonomous that council, we are electing the MDC. So they are the representatives. Each one of you cannot go and place our demand, cannot place our whatever difficulties or problems we are facing. So that is placed to the representatives. And these representatives belong to the political party. They belong to the political party. And that is why political party is very important. Political party plays an important role, especially in democracy. A democracy without political party is useless. and political party without democracy is meaningless. So, political party plays an important role, especially in democracy or in the democratic country. Now, almost in every country there are political parties. So there are three types of party system: one party system, bi-party system, and multi-party system. Now, in one party system, in a country where there is one party system, there is only one political party, single political party, and that party only rules. Like China, and mainly in the communist country, there is only one political party, and that party only rules. Then bi-party system. A bi-party means two parties. In bi-party system, there exist two parties, and in these two parties, the party that wins, that becomes the ruling party, and other party remains in the opposition. This opposition party in the bi-party system forms the shadow cabinet. The opposition party in the bi-party system forms the shadow cabinet. Then the multi-party system, from the name only we can make out that multi-party system. Multi means many. So in multi-party system, there are at least three, that means minimum three or more parties. Like India. In India, there is multi-party system. In UK, there is bi-party system. China, there is one-party system. Now, in multi-party system, there are many parties. Like in India, so many parties are there, and the party that gets the absolute majority forms the government, and other parties remain in the opposition. But it is said that the government in the bi-party system remains stable and strong. The government in the bi-party, where there are two parties, now government in the bi-party system is more stable and remains strong, because the political crisis is not found in the bi-party system. In the multi-party system, there are many political parties, and sometimes the political crisis is found. Whenever there is political crisis, or sometimes it happens that before the tenure gets over, midterm election is conducted. Government that falls, that means loses the absolute majority, and so there may be the midterm election. Though there is a fixed tenure, but sometimes government falls before the tenure gets over, and that is why it is said that in the bi-party system there is no such crisis, and so the government is strong and more stable. Alright? Now, political parties is indispensable part of democracy. Already I said political party is very, very important in democracy. Democracy without political party is meaningless, useless. So, in democracy, there must be political parties. If you take out your book, page number 4, you take out, and there mentions some characteristics and functions of political party. Only the points are mentioned, and these points are very important. Very often it comes. Characteristics and functions. Just I'll read out is point number A, that is characteristics of political party. Organization. First characteristics of political party is organization. That means political party, as you all know, that it is a group of people, but not just ordinary group of people. It is an organized group of people. That group of people is properly organized. Then principle, ideals and planning. The political party, each political party have some principles, some ideals, and they have proper planning. Aspiration for capturing power. Each political party aims to capture the power and form the government. Now, recently election was conducted, and the candidates belonging to each political party, they did the campaigning, the canvassing, they did to capture the power, to get the vote, so that their party can capture the power. So this is their motive, this is their aim, capturing the power. Regards for national interest. Of course, they have the regards for national interest, not the selfish interest. They work for the national interest, they have the regards for the national interest. So these are the characteristics, 4 characteristics, very very important. So you have to remember this. Along with the characteristics, some functions are mentioned. So what are the functions? First function is to educate the mass people by giving political instructions. So political parties give mass political instruction. That means each political party creates political consciousness among the mass people, common people, general public. If and though not every time, but before the election, we have seen the political parties, their supporters, the leaders, their workers, they conduct meetings, they meet people, they meet with the general public, common masses, and they give the political instructions, their ideals, their principles. They explain if they come into power what they are going to do, or what the other parties are doing, what the ruling parties are doing. So this kind of political instruction they give to the common people, and thus the common people get some knowledge. They improve their consciousness. So the political parties, they create the political awareness among the common masses. Common masses means common people. Then to develop the political awareness among the mass people. So almost similar point. Then number C, to mold public opinion. To mold public opinion. Mold means giving proper shape to the public opinion. Public opinion means opinions of the common people, opinions of the general public. To mold the public opinion. When the political parties, they campaign or they create political awareness to the people, they give the instructions, they give the political knowledge to the people, then people may have some kind of different opinion, but when they come to know or when they know from the political parties that these things are happening, these things are going on, then the general public, they can think in their mind. They may be thinking that this party is the good, this leader is the good, so we'll give vote to them. But when they come in contact with the political parties, they come to know from their speeches that what is happening, what the other parties are doing, what the different leaders are doing, then they can think in their mind that, oh, I was thinking this party is good, but see, this party seems they did like this, he did like this, that means they are not good, he is not good. So that way they can change their opinion, they can give the proper shape of their opinion. Maybe the person was thinking something different way, but after knowing from the leaders or from the political parties, then they will know that they will give the proper shape, they will mold their opinion. So thus the political parties helps in molding, in giving proper shape of the public opinion. To transform the public opinion into reality. Political parties transform the public opinion into reality. Each political party tries to get the public opinion in favor of them, because they know, political parties, they know if the public opinion is in favor of them, then they will win. And if the public opinion is against them, then they will not able to win. So they transform the public opinion into reality. Now, these are the few functions of the political parties. Now, political parties, especially in the democracy, they work in favor of the general public, because if the political party that wins and gets the power does not give the importance of the public opinion, then they will not work, or they will not remain in their power for the longer period. And that is why public opinion plays an important role in democracy, and it is said that public opinion is an important organ of democracy. Election is the first organ of democracy, and then another organ of democracy is the public opinion. As we know that in 1885, the Indian National Congress was formed under the initiative of, or at the initiative of, Allan Octavian Hume. He took the initiative and then he formed the public opinion. I have given you the answer also in the history, if you have not forgotten, why he formed the Indian National Congress, isn't it? So Indian National Congress was formed in 1885, and it was the first political party of India. And after this, the second political party of India was Muslim League. Muslim League was formed in 1906. It was regarded as the second political party of India. And the third political party of India was Hindu Mahasabha, which was formed in 1916. 1916. The Hindu Mahasabha was formed, which was regarded as the third political party of India. According to some, that Surendranath Banerjee, he formed Indian Association in 1876. Surendranath Banerjee, you must have heard the name in history. I taught you all. So Surendranath Banerjee, he formed Indian Association in 1876, and according to some, it is the first political party of India. But no. Why? Because Indian Association was not a political party. It was only an association. It was not a political party, it was only an association. So it cannot be regarded as the first political party. And that is why Indian National Congress, which was formed in 1885 at the initiative of Allan Octavian Hume, is regarded as the first political party of India. And the first president of the Indian National Congress was Umesh Chandra Banerjee. And its first session was held in Bombay. Alright? The fourth political party of India was Swaraj Party, which was formed in 1922 under the leadership of Motilal Nehru and Chittaranjan Das, C.R. Das, formed in 1922. Then first Communist Party was established in 1924. First Communist Party was established in 1924, and it was formed with the philosophy and ideals of Karl Marx. He is the father of Socialist Party. The first general election of India was held in 1952. In 1952, first general election of India was held. And at that time, there were only 14 parties to contest the election. And if we see now, there are so many parties, isn't it? There are regional parties, there are provincial or state parties, and there are national parties. National parties like Congress, then Bharatiya Janata Party, then Communist Party, that is called Marxist, Janata Dal. These are the national parties. But besides the national party, there are some regional parties, and there were some reasons. At the beginning, there were only the national parties. When the first election was conducted, there were only national parties. But later on, many regional parties. In Assam also, we have so many regional parties like AGP and then BPF. So many regional parties we have. South also. Everywhere the regional parties are there. So in my next class, we shall discuss how the regional and why the regional parties were formed. So today I'll conclude. Okay.